Hi, I want to share with you what's probably the most valuable, most impactful piece of clarity that I've gotten about how to sell more in maybe the last 5 years or more. This is like one of those moments of clarity that I know is going to change my entire future in terms of the results that I'm able to get with selling. And it's contained in this in U P P. And I'm sorry if there's a little glare there. It's NUPP. And we'll get into everything that means in just a moment here. But I can tell you, like this, I got this from somebody who has generated over $500 million. That's $500 million worth of sales from writing sales letters that leverage this one powerful secret. And I know that as I look back, when I have unintentionally applied this secret, that's been what has led to some of my biggest sales breakthroughs. And I can't wait to continue to apply it moving forward. Now, my name is Roy Furr. This is a video issue of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. If you like this video, if you like this content, make sure that you do actually click like on the video so that YouTube knows to share it with other viewers. Make sure that you comment, share what you got out of this video, how you're going to use it on your next project, not just for me, but for you, because when you think about putting this into action, that's what's going to make a huge difference for you. Share the video with other people who you feel might get value out of it. And subscribe if you are not yet a subscriber so that you get more content like this delivered going forward. So NUPP, what does that stand for? Why is this such a big breakthrough? We're actually going to go backwards through this because I believe that that's the way that my mind processes it best and will give you the most value. So the last P stands for problem. Now, you probably know if you are involved in marketing, selling, business, whatever, that if you're solving problems for people, for your market, that's how you make a lot of sales. Because as one of the greatest copywriters to ever have lived teaches, a problem is a market, a need, a want, unfulfilled desire, the gap between where somebody's at and what they want their life to be like. That is a market. Everybody that shares that problem is a market. And your ability to serve that market, your ability to have a successful business serving that market is based on being able to solve that problem. So if every good market is a problem, then naturally being able to communicate around that problem is going to be critically important. Now, it's even better here. I'm going to add something that's not in the NUPP formula. It's even better if this is an urgent problem. Meaning, like, I have a problem and I want to solve it now. That just makes it easier to make every sale. Now, this is something that I've actually talked about for years, that having an urgent problem is one of the addressing an urgent problem in your marketing and your sales message is one of the most important ways that you can make sales. Okay, so nothing new about this. However, you get into most markets, and problems are not just a brand new problem that somebody faces. Like if I have a leaky roof, I'm not going to be in the market for very long. I have this urgent problem that needs to be fixed. And if that's what you're selling, if you're selling roof repair or new roofs, being able to like have a Google ad in front of me when I search for roof repair Lincoln, Nebraska, like that's going to be something that it's easy to make the sale. It's quick to make the sale. But that's not a huge scalable market in the way that some of these other problems are when you add this element. Persistent. That is that the problem did not start and end in a short time period. This is a problem that goes on for an extended period of time. So one of the reasons that for example, finance and investments is a huge, huge market. Anything having to do with making money is a huge, huge market. Anything having to do with health and fitness is a huge, huge market, is because these are persistent problems. Like, we can never have enough money. Yeah, we can't. But for the most part, people throughout their entire life want to make sure that their financial security is improving, as well as health. I mean, people want their health and fitness to continue to improve throughout pretty much their entire life. And so these are markets where people have persistent problems. And they may have a certain element of their life, for example, a new diagnosis that makes it feel much more urgent. So if you get diagnosed with whatever disease related to weight, whether it's heart disease or diabetes or something, you may have a sudden urgent need to really address what's been a persistent problem. And so you may suddenly be in the market for weight loss solutions or something like that. Or finances, if the market changes, you may suddenly be thinking a lot more about your finances. So it's not only a persistent problem, but it's also an urgent problem. And so in our marketing, we want to be addressing persistent problems that are best if they have some element of the problem that makes the desire for a solution urgent. Now, none of this feels really new. If you've been following me at Breakthrough Marketing Secrets for very long, or if you are a serious student of sales, marketing, business, you know these things. However, here's where we get really good. Here's where I really felt that I got the breakthrough out of learning this. And here's where I feel like you will get the breakthrough that will help you sell more. The next word that we've added going up is understanding. So if you are in most markets, or if you are dealing with most marketers, what you'll find is that most marketers say, hey, if you have this problem, I have a solution. This might be what makes my solution unique. Here's the mechanism, using the language from Eugene Schwartz and Breakthrough Advertising. Here is the mechanism of my solution that makes it unique, that guarantees that you're going to get results faster, easier, at a better ROI in terms of investment of time, energy, and effort in getting the solution. Here is why my product is better at solving this problem. Now, you know about this problem. I'm not changing your understanding of the problem. I may be changing your understanding of the buying criteria involved in a solution through defining this new mechanism as any good solution is going to include this, but I'm not necessarily changing the, your understanding of the problem. But if we add new to that, and again, I'm sorry for the glare here. If we're giving someone a new understanding of a persistent and perhaps urgent problem, we are suddenly changing the buying equation completely. And so if somebody in our market had this problem, let's say it was a fitness problem. They want to be more fit. They want to have better fitness performance. In fact, I have three great examples for you here. They want to be more fit, but they don't understand because they already go to the gym, 3 times a week, 4 times a week. They've optimized their diet. They've optimized their sleep. They've optimized their workouts. They're using, different protocols, and still they want better performance. They want an edge in their performance. Well, if you can provide them a new understanding why everything that they've done is like 99% of the way to what they want, but you understand the 1%, that means that the problem is still persistent, that the performance is not still where you want it to be, whatever, then suddenly you have changed the game entirely. You've changed your selling message entirely. You've given them a new understanding of their persistent problem. And because you're the person who has helped them understand the problem in a brand new way, you have actually opened up the You've created this scenario where they will automatically turn to you for the solution, because if you understand the problem better than anybody else, you also naturally are going to understand what it's going to take to solve the problem better than anybody else. So by presenting a new understanding of a persistent problem, you suddenly make it so that your solution feels like the only option that's going to actually solve their problem going forward. Now, I do have to give a ton of credit here to Stefan Georgi, who is the copywriter who taught this. Now, he actually taught it as that I understand the mechanism of the problem, meaning I understand that one thing that means that they still have the problem. And then he teaches it as the mechanism of the solution, meaning I understand the one thing that you need to have that you didn't have in your solutions before that is going to actually solve this problem for you. And when I heard that, and I've been turning it over in my head over and over and over again, I was thinking, like, how can I make this as useful as possible? And that's where I got this NUPP, N-U-P-P, make it easy to remember. I'm giving them a new understanding of a persistent problem. New understanding of a persistent problem. And once I've given them that new understanding of their persistent problem, it's so much easier for them to turn to me for the solution. Now, I'm going to give 3 examples. I promised 3 examples. And some of these are a little bit older, but I felt like they are very clear examples, and you can see the result as the products sold have grown in the marketplace. So you may or may not know, Jack Bogle was the founder of Vanguard. And Vanguard is a gigantic investment business. And one of the things that Vanguard is best known for is their mutual funds. And what Bogle's sales pitch was essentially for these funds is that the gains of investing compound, but so do the costs of paying someone to manage your investments. And so a lot of mutual funds may have a 2% fee for management of the fund. If it's like a fund that actively trades stocks and you just buy the fund, well, they may be carving off 2% every year just to manage those investments. And what Vanguard did was they created funds that were passively managed, and that the cost of managing them was very, very low. And so rather than paying 2% per year, you're suddenly paying 0.5% per year. And if the average is, let's say, 6%, well, suddenly you're talking, the market went up an average of 6% per year. Suddenly the person who's paying 2% per year is actually only making 4% versus the person paying 0.5% per year is making 5.5%. And that compounds through time. The advantage of those low cost funds compound through time. And that was the fundamental sales pitch, like redefining the persistent problem of not making as much money as you want with your investments on this thing of the fees associated with mutual fund management. And he redefined that, and everybody fell in love with Vanguard funds, and it grew to one of the biggest investing businesses on the planet, largely on the strength of those mutual funds. Another common example, or another well-known example, is dieting. Now, there have been dieting programs and calorie counting programs and all of that for years, but recently, and I say recently, it's, in the last couple decades, there's been this huge trend towards low-carb diets. So what this does, and the Atkins diet was one of the big ones, right, that launched this trend. What this did was it redefined the problem. So we have this persistent problem that even when we've tried 1,000 diets, even when we've gone to Weight Watchers and we've done all these other things, we've counted calories, we've tried not having dessert, we've tried minimizing our portion size, whatever. Well, the problem still persisted. And the Atkins diet, whether you love it or not, The Atkins diet said, well, the problem is not how much you're eating. It's that different types of foods actually impact your body and your metabolism in a different way. And carbs is the big enemy. And because it gave us a new understanding of that persistent problem, low carb diets exploded in popularity. They got huge, right? So these are different examples of how our persistent problem was framed with a new understanding that led to huge successes in the market. Now, there's another one that I really like recently because it caught me, and you probably don't know of this book or whatever, but there is a personal trainer, or I don't know if he's a personal trainer. He's a trainer of personal trainers named Pavel. And Pavel is best known for bringing kettlebells, the workout equipment, to the United States from Russia. Like, he was the first guy in the United States to really popularize kettlebells as a workout. And he's kind of been the thought leader in that market ever since. And since most of my workouts are done involving kettlebells, I've followed Pavel for a long time. Well, he recently came out with this exercise program called the Quick and the Dead. And there's a fundamental premise of the Quick and the Dead that is, so if you have he actually tells the story of the cheetah and the antelope. And the way that the cheetah hunts is that the cheetah will sprint. And if the cheetah does not catch its prey right away, it will just then relax and it will wait for its next opportunity, and then it will sprint to catch its next prey. And because of this, the cheetah is able to run at maximum speed, and this incredible performance, this incredible feat of the animal kingdom comes out of this cheetah's propensity to sprint for its prey and then relax, and sprint for its prey and then relax. And the alternative there being the antelope, and if you get antelopes or other distance running animals running for a long time, there are only a few animals where their biology is designed for marathon running, like wolves being one of them. Although even if the wolf tries to sprint, it's going to slow down pretty quickly. And so you get one of these animals running for a long time, and its body builds up lactic acid. All its muscles build up lactic acid. And if you've ever worked out and then felt sore afterwards, like for days afterwards, especially that soreness that comes on 2 days after your workout, that's because of a buildup of lactic acid in your muscles. And when you do that, actually your performance on those days when you have that buildup of lactic acid, 2 days after you've worked out, your performance drops off. Whereas if you do the kinds of sprints that a cheetah does, and you don't build up that lactic acid, your performance after 2 days is going to be great. And your performance after 2 days is going to be great. And so, meant to complement other training regimes, Pavel came up with this Quick and the Dead approach, which is all about redefining, giving a new understanding to the persistent problem of when I work out, my muscles are sore and my performance suffers for days afterwards. Well, by having this different approach to lifting, this different approach to working out, making it about these little sprints, he actually came up with a performance protocol explained in his book that has had some rather incredible results when people consistently train with this, and then only in their high performance scenarios. Like, he gave an example of a distance bicyclist who does these like super long 100-mile plus rides. And speed and time and everything improved dramatically after a bunch of this little sprint training when he did like an 8-hour 100-mile bicycle ride. And so again, without going too deep into Pavel's workout routine, because we're talking about sales and marketing, by giving my prospects a new understanding of a persistent problem, preferably one that has some element of urgency to it, I am showing them the mechanism, to borrow again from Stephen Georgi's language, I'm showing the mechanism of why that problem still exists in their life, despite their many attempts to fix it, despite the many products and services that they've bought to try to fix it, despite the many solutions they've attempted. And thus I differentiate my solution automatically because I am going to have a logical connection between that the mechanism of the problem, the new understanding of the persistent problem, and how I have built my product or service to solve the problem. And I'll tell you what, like this, boom, it for me, I could clearly see, I could clearly look back all of the big performances that were like all the big promotions, marketing pieces that I've put together that have been a big success seem to incorporate this. Whereas so many things that I've tried that have seemed like, oh, I did all the right things, but they didn't quite work out, didn't do this. Like there was no intentionality, there was no unintentionality. And so by bringing this into my conscious awareness versus doing it haphazardly on kind of an unconscious level, because I have pretty good sales instincts, I suddenly have this like this new superpower of selling. And I think that if you do this, if you just remember NUPP, NUPP, new understanding of a persistent problem, new understanding of a persistent problem, new understanding of a persistent problem, you are going to be able to, you're going to be able to have those same incredible breakthrough moments where you are creating sales messages that really just seem to resonate with even the most competitive prospects in even the most competitive markets, where you can get paid most as a copywriter, as a salesperson, where there's the biggest wide open opportunity because there's just a hungry hordes of buyers out there. So if you found this valuable, again, like the video if you liked it, comment, tell me how you're going to use this on your next project. Put that inspiration into action by actually turning your insights into a plan through commenting on the video. Share the video with other people who might find it interesting, whether that's here on Facebook, wherever you want to share. And be sure you're subscribed to my channel here, as well as go to the link in the description for breakthroughmarketingsecrets.com, where you can get my daily emails covering marketing, selling, business building, direct response, all of that stuff, and copywriting. And those come out Monday through Friday. It's an article Monday through Thursday covering topics related to those skills, and on Friday it tends to be a video Friday issue. Now, I've been feeling like I am here to serve you. I'm here to help you live a happier, healthier, more prosperous life, a life of bigger impact. And sometimes that's through sales and marketing advice like that. Sometimes it's through personal development advice. But if you're a high achiever, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a high-end direct marketer or copywriter, and that's what you want, to live a happier, healthier, more prosperous and impactful life, I'd love to have you here on my channel, here at Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. I'd love to have you. So why don't you join the movement and join me now? And I want to say thank you for watching this video Friday issue of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Again, my name is Roy Furr, and I look forward to seeing you again in your next video.